Will you be ready when the zombie apocalypse comes? If you laugh at that notion, that's fine by us. After all, it'll give us more time to get out of Dodge while the zombies are busy eating your brains. But where will you go? It turns out there are quite a few options, and we'd like to tell you a few right now. Each is a little different and will require some adapting or teamwork on your part. If you're up for it, however, it may just make your stay during the zombie apocalypse a touch nicer. Make sure you keep that brain of yours healthy and clear of any zombies, because we have a quiz for you. Give us the best answer and you'll be invited into our secure, zombie-proof vault, and have your answer pinned to the top. For now, to prove you're not a walker, just hit that subscribe button and proceed to our potentially life-saving video. An old fort. One thing is for certain, humans have a pretty big history of war, yet when it comes to a zombie apocalypse, that may not be a bad thing. You see, all across the world there are old bunkers and fortresses that are made from concrete and steel. Places like the Montceau Sea Forts in England or the Maginot Forts in France are isolated and well built. All you need to do is bring enough supplies and ensure the people you are traveling with can be trusted. As an added plus, these locations are usually so isolated that you can hunt and fish for extra food without fear of running into a zombie. A missile silo. Across the United States and Russia, there are hundreds of active and abandoned missile silos. Since these things were built to withstand a nuclear blast, we figure they should be more than adequate to handle a swarm of walkers. Some silos are actually available to the public and have even been converted into living spaces. Those that are still active are a different story, and we suggest use caution as any guards will likely be a little nervous in the case of a zombie outbreak. Once inside, however, it's time to live out all of your wildest Fallout fantasies. A castle. If it was good enough to keep swarms of angry peasants or Vikings out, then it's good enough to stay in during a zombie apocalypse. Of course, we're talking about a castle. These structures can be found all over the world, and if you have a bunch of money, you can buy one right now and get a head start on your preparations. Sure, castles may be old technology, but sometimes older is better. After all, with a massive and thick outer wall, drawbridge, and moat, you'll be safe and snug inside while the world falls apart around you. A mine. Many people don't automatically think of a mine when they plan a zombie survival strategy. Sure, they can be dark, damp, and dangerous, but considering what might be happening above ground, we're willing to chance it. In all honesty, modern mines can be pretty impressive facilities. With their own air and water purification systems and emergency generators, surviving like a troll might not be so bad. The added bonus is that such locations are often hard to access and tunnel entrances are easy to barricade. Play your cards right, and you might even come across a small fortune of gold or silver to use as currency in the post-apocalyptic world. A lighthouse. Did you know there is actually a trend right now for families to buy up old lighthouses and turn them into homes? It's true. As technology improves, governments are selling these sturdy structures, which just happen to be perfect zombie-proof dwellings. Often located in remote areas, on small islands, or at the end of long piers, limiting access to your lighthouse home is pretty easy. Being near the water means you could fish for most of your food. However, depending on the size of your place, things might get tight with other survivors, and room for a garden may be pretty limited. Okay, if you got through that with your brain intact, we have a question for you. Having already seen these first few entries, do you think the best strategy in a zombie apocalypse is to hunker down and fortify your house or apartment, or stay mobile and on the move until the outbreak stops? Think that over while we give you a few more potential locations to hide out in. A cruise ship. Speaking of water, why not come aboard and live out the zombie apocalypse on a large and luxurious cruise liner? Sure, you'll need a relatively large group of survivors to help you run the ship, but once you raise that anchor, we just don't see how a zombie can get aboard. Modern cruise ships have food and facilities to operate for at least a couple of weeks, and that's with a full crew and passenger list. Your small band won't require as much, which means your apocalypse dream cruise can go on a lot longer. Now, if you'll excuse us, we heard that Wayne Newton will be performing in the onboard club tonight. An island. Let's say you can't get your hands on a cruise ship, just a smaller, regular-sized boat. Not a problem. Check the gas and make for the nearest island. In fact, there are many small islands you can buy today, if you have enough money. In a zombie apocalypse, we imagine a lot more real estate will be available to you. Just remember, it's a buyer's market, so keep an eye out for islands that are fully equipped with things like water purification and power facilities. From the eastern seaboard to the Caribbean, they do actually exist and will make hiding out during the chaos all that easier. A prison. If you've seen The Walking Dead, then you know what we're getting at here. Prisons come in all shapes and sizes, and some can even be purchased right now. Nonetheless, what better way to keep unwanted zombies out than holding up in a facility meant to keep people in? In addition to secure fences and doors, many prisons also have their own electrical and water supplies, which should last you for a while. Of course, there is the possibility that the prison you go into may have prisoners or even zombies inside. Hey, we just provide the directions. The rest is up to you. A stadium. Pretty much every major city in the world has them. While we normally associate sports stadiums with, well, sports, in the case of the zombie outbreak, they could potentially be a great place to pass the time. Ample seating, a giant screen to watch TV and play video games, and a near endless supply of hot dogs and pop. That sounds pretty good. Sure, not all stadiums are created equal. Some of the newer facilities are much more secure and likely more comfortable to hide out in. Sorry, Fenway. The added benefit is that as they are in cities, they are close to areas you can scavenge for supplies and food should the need arise. A military base. They are built like prisons, have ample supplies to feed an army, and come equipped with some of the best weaponry around. Yes, the military base could just be the perfect place to hold up in a zombie apocalypse. Secure fences and walls will keep the hordes out, while in all likelihood, you will be surrounded by trained and well-equipped soldiers. If you're lucky, they'll give you some military training and even a weapon. Just don't touch their tanks without asking. We hear that makes them really mad. So, are you the type of person to board up your home and stay quiet while the zombies wander around outside? Or would you head out and stay mobile, moving from place to place? Would you clear a path right through the hordes of zombies or tiptoe around them stealthily? Give us your plan because we really have no idea, and we're just planning on using the interns as zombie bait. Now, in order to prove to us that you made it through that video without becoming a zombie, just hit that subscribe button. It'll let us know you're okay and ensure you won't miss our future releases here at Therichest. Bye-bye.